Stretching from Europe through the Middle East and reaching across Asia, Russia's vast expanse even touches the border of North Korea, culminating at the Bering Sea. But there's more to Russia than meets the eye. The inhabitants, locales, and traditions vary immensely, not only from each other, but also from what is typically perceived as Russian. These people inhabit regions of Russia that are largely autonomous and remarkably less known. Referred to as republics, there are 22 of them within Russia. Functioning almost like nations within a nation, they have their own official languages, constitutions, national anthems, and control their own natural resources. These hidden cultures are what I wish to expose, not just because I find them intriguing and captivating, but also due to their gradual vanishing, a matter I will disclose later. Instead of delving into all 22 republics, I'll focus on the ones I find the most fascinating, including the largest, most disputed, most populous, most exotic, and the most diverse. Let's start with Crimea, a Russian republic that is not internationally acknowledged as such. The status of Crimea is contested. Ukraine claims it, and it's recognized as Ukrainian by the United Nations and most other countries. Following the 2014 Ukrainian Revolution and the ousting of Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych, Russia annexed Crimea. This followed a military intervention by pro-Russian separatists and Russian armed forces, as well as a disputed referendum on reunification with Russia, deemed illegal under Ukrainian and Crimean constitutions. The official results showed over 90 support for reunification, but the poll was boycotted by many loyal to Ukraine and deemed illegitimate by Western governments and the United Nations. Regardless, Russia officially annexed Crimea on March 18, 2014, incorporating the Republic of Crimea and the federal city of Sebastopol as the 84th and 85th federal subjects of Russia. In retaliation, Ukraine used Crimea's geographical position against them by closing off the North Crimean Canal, which provided 85% of Crimea's drinking water. Consequently, the area's cultivation shrank drastically, from 130,000 hectares in 2013 to just 14,000 in 2017. Despite Crimea's complex history and disputed status, it's worth discussing due to its unique geography, climate, and populace. Connected to Ukraine only by the Isthmus of Perekop, a narrow land strip just 5 kilometers wide, Crimea is virtually an island. It boasts mountains and a subtropical climate, attributes not usually associated with Russia. Its inhabitants include Crimean Tatars, a predominantly Muslim ethnic minority who accounted for roughly 10% of the population in 2014, and who were forcibly exiled to Central Asia by Joseph Stalin's regime as collective punishment. Following the dissolution of the Soviet Union, the Crimean Tatars began returning to the region. Currently, 16% of the population are Ukrainian and 68% are Russian. While Crimea has a hot climate, let's shift to a different republic, Yakutia, or Sakha, characterized by a more typically Russian climate. This is the largest political entity in the world that is not a sovereign nation, large enough to be the 8th largest country globally, nestled between Argentina and India. The Yakuts, representing about 50% of the population, are the majority ethnic group, followed by Russians at 38%, and a variety of other minorities. They have 2 official languages, Russian and Yakut, with the latter spoken by approximately 40% of the population and part of the Turkic language family. People here hold on to their vibrant traditions, like their colorful costumes, cuisine, and summer festivals. One such festival is Isyak, where families reunite over pancakes, horse meat, dried or fried fish, and kumis, a fermented mare's milk. Participants in this festival queue for hours to press against the surge, a sort of pillar, to ask the spirits of nature for blessings and miracles. Yakutia's capital city, Yakutsk, is notably the coldest large city globally, with an average temperature -8 degrees Celsius, dropping as low as -38 degrees Celsius in January. It's also the world's largest city within continuous permafrost, making food preservation less of an issue. Yakutia also houses diamond mines, including the second largest man-made pit in the world, the Murni diamond mine, now decommissioned. Despite its enormous size, Yakutia isn't the most populated republic. Bashkortostan holds that title, with around 4 million inhabitants. Located near Kazakhstan, Bashkortostan is known for its varied geography and natural beauty, including 2,700 lakes and reservoirs, 13,000 rivers, and multiple mountains. The population is diverse: 30 Bashkirs, 36 Russians, and 25 Tatars, with the remaining 9 consisting of various minorities. Bashkortostan takes pride in its rich history of dance and music, evident in its broad network of national theaters, museums, and numerous annual folk festivals. Its capital, Ufa, is home to nearly a quarter of the population and houses Russia's largest oil refineries. As for religion, the most religiously homogeneous republic is Dagestan. Located north of Azerbaijan and bordering the Caspian Sea, Dagestan is one of the most ethnically diverse republics of Russia, home to more than 30 ethnic groups and 81 nationalities. However, about 83 of its inhabitants adhere to Islam, attributed to Dagestan's geographical position near the Middle East. The average temperature in Dagestan is 26 degrees Celsius in July, in stark contrast to Yakutia. Along the Black Sea, you can find exotic republics where tea plantations abound. Despite being a resource-rich region with oil, natural gas, gold, silver, tungsten, and iron, it remains one of Russia's poorest regions, with a GDP per capita of about 3,800 US dollars. This is a trend we see across most of Russia's republics, despite their access to abundant natural resources. Their diminishing self-governance and autonomy reveal a worrying trend. This started 2 decades ago with Vladimir Putin's election on March 26, 2000, marking a period of significant reforms to centralize authority with the federal government and harmonize the republic's laws with the Russian constitution. Putin's initial actions as president included the creation of federal districts tasked with exercising federal control over the republics. His administration later set up the so-called Cossack Commission in June 2001 to review the division of powers between the federal government and these regions. The Commission's recommendations largely aim to reduce regional autonomy and transfer lucrative powers reserved for the republics to the federal government. Over the years, the republics have gradually lost more autonomy to the federal government. A 2018 bill further elevated the status of the Russian language at the expense of other official languages in the republics. It's clear that Putin is determined to erase these republics, their cultures and languages, to consolidate complete control over all of Russia. These republics may not survive for much longer, which is why it's essential to acknowledge and appreciate their distinct identities and cultures. While we can, there are 22 such republics, virtually countries within the larger Russian Federation. Each one boasts its official languages, constitutions, national anthems, and control over their natural resources. It is these intriguing and lesser-known cultures that I wish to explore. Their inherent fascination notwithstanding, these cultures are also gradually fading away for reasons we will delve into later. While it's impossible to discuss all 22 republics in depth, we will explore the ones that I personally find most captivating. This includes the largest, the most contentious, the most populated, the most exotic, and the most diverse. To initiate our exploration, we begin with Crimea, a republic whose Russian status is not internationally recognized. Bashkortostan, with a population size of around 4 million, is another fascinating republic with its breathtaking geography, rich cultural history, and extensive oil refineries. Moving further, we encounter Dagestan, located north of Azerbaijan, with a coastline to the Caspian Sea. Dagestan, with its remarkable ethnic diversity, is predominantly Muslim and has a warm climate, a stark contrast to Yakutia. However, despite the richness of these republics, a trend of decreasing self-governance and autonomy has been observed since Vladimir Putin's election in March 2000. Putin's period has seen extensive reforms to centralize authority with the federal government, threatening the republic's autonomy and cultural heritage. In closing, the beautifully diverse cultures and languages of these republics are under threat of disappearing. Understanding and spreading knowledge about them is not just an academic exercise, but also an urgent act of cultural preservation. If you've found this journey through Russia's diverse republics intriguing, consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the like button. Your support enables us to continue exploring and sharing these important stories from around the world. Thank you for watching.